Hello and welcome to our next video. We're discussing current and historical events that inspired the writing of 2034, A Cautionary Tale. Today we'll be talking about the sexualization of children. Although my book doesn't deal with the issue of sex trafficking directly, in light of the movie The Sound of Freedom that just came out, I'd like to include that in this conversation about the sexualization of children that's happening in general. We see that happening around the world with this issue of sex trafficking, but we also see it here in the United States with the issue of sex trafficking, but also in public schools. We see events like Drag Queen Story Hour. We see sexually explicit materials in public school libraries. We see teachers teaching children younger and younger about sexual acts. In fact, Tim Ballard said that he would be able to arrest people for giving the types of material to children that they're being given at public schools today. So I have 4 steps to give you of how we can respond to this atrocity going on around the world. Step 1 is to begin with your home. Protect the innocence of your children. The standards of the world around us change quickly, but don't change your standards to match theirs. Protect your children. Be involved in the school that they attend and be aware of what's going on. If it's not good, send them to a private school or even homeschool them. That might mean a big sacrifice on your part. It might mean you have to live in a different house. It might mean you have to live in a different area. Change your lifestyle so that you can protect your children. You might say that's not possible because of your situation. Well, that leads me to step 2. Step 2 is to help in your community. The first thing you need to do is look out for those who can't do step 1. They might not be able to change their situation. Maybe they're a single parent, or maybe they just have something else going on. Look out for these people and help them. It might be helping them financially, but it might be other more practical things. It might be picking up their kids with yours after school to hang out instead of having them sit in aftercare. It might be being willing to carpool so that they don't have to sit before school for 30, 40 minutes just waiting. Some parents have a difficult time, and it's up to us as community members to look out for them. Sometimes we have a mindset that people in these difficult situations just need to figure it out or go to the government for help, but that's not true. We as a community should be looking out and building relationships with these people so that we can know what they need and we can step up to help. So look out in your own community for what's going on and see what you can do to help your neighbors, your coworkers, and your friends to protect their children. Step 3 is to speak up. Speak out against the evil things that are going on. If Drag Queen Story Hour is happening at your school, stand up against it. Don't just let it happen without any pushback or without anyone saying a word. If there's sexually graphic materials at your children's school, stand up against it. Fight what's going on. Maybe it's not at your school, but you need to stand up for the vulnerable children in your community. Not every child has a parent who's going to step up for them, but you can be that adult who cares enough about them to stand up and protect their innocence and stop the evil things that are happening right here in our own communities. And lastly, step 4 is to get your hands dirty. Get involved and do something. Find organizations that help children who are coming out of sex trafficking and volunteer. Become a foster parent. Help somebody who is foster parenting. Do something in your neighborhood at your school to get involved and help children who are vulnerable. It might be awkward or inconvenient or uncomfortable, but it's up to us to help the children in our community who cannot help themselves. Sometimes we don't do these things because we're afraid of failing or afraid it will mess up the way our life is. But it's better to fail trying to do good than to succeed at doing nothing. It's up to us to stand up and help these children. Be sure to do your part. Thanks for joining us for this discussion. If you haven't had a chance to watch Sound of Freedom, I encourage you, go watch it. You won't be disappointed. And as always, come back as we discuss more current and historical events that inspired the writing of 2034, A Cautionary Tale. Thank you.